so what is up when I start this? I gotta mess up my eye. In any case, looking on Twitter, and Benjamin Dixon decided to post something, and I'm like, what is it about these people that in their own right, when they become an elite form, they lose all sense of rationality? I mean, for example, and I did a recording earlier, but I don't think I'm going to post it. In general, it was about Cenk Uygur and his run for Congress, 25th District of California. And a conspirator noticed that she said in 2016 that she was naive and she believed, you know, Democrats, Republicans were separate. And I'm like, I knew that back Obama's 4th month. That just sealed the nail in the coffin to me. That's what that did. It hammered that nail in, put some crazy glue on top, and then set a brick on it. That's what that did. I've been known that the two parties were one and the same. All they do is vie for big donor money. And then they use the sheeple to make sure that they get approval. That's why Trump excelled at it, because that's all the DNC and RNC ever done. That's all it is. Pageantry, charisma, dangling keys in front of the kids. That's all politics has ever been. Dangle the keys, keep them, what do they say? Keep them energized, keep them excited. That's it. If it's truly about policy, do I have to keep you excited? If I'm running for president, do I have to keep you, yay, yay, woo, yay? Do I really gotta do that? Really? Isn't living your life as hard as you're living it enough to motivate you to vote for someone of policy and not charisma? Policy over colloquialism, policy over tribalism, policy over partisanship. Because if you got a policy, you got a standard. If you got a standard, then you got a bar to not drop below. And when you find out other people's policies and their standards, and you find out that it's all wrapped up in making America strong, keeping the people united, making sure that the people are together, making sure that we can push forward to a better tomorrow, making sure that we can stop the evils of the world to do the best thing for America and the world, doing what we can to be the best leader in the nations, to make sure that we are still that golden street across that dingy bridge that you see. All of those cliches, platitudes, and bullshit lines that people today still fall for hook, line, and sinker, to the point where it's so easy to fool the misguided, the misinformed, the partisans, the racists, the oligarchs, the supporters, the fan fanatics, all of those people. It is so easy to fool them. Joe Biden doesn't even have to do rallies. Just think about that. He doesn't have to, because people say, it's Joe Biden. He worked with Obama. He liked black people. I'm voting for him. And nobody thinks past the first thing they hear. And that is one of the biggest dooms in society. You hear the first thing they say way before a debate. The first thing they say, for example, if I'm running for president, the first thing you hear me say is, I am Cedric Kennedy. I am working out of North Carolina and I'm running for president. I believe in strong borders, strong future. I believe in better education. I believe in equal opportunity across the board. And I believe in a powerful military to make sure that our I don't know, what would I call them? Our enemies? Yeah. Or hold on, what's the other one? I will make sure that those that hate our democracy will be kept at bay. I could say that stuff, and you'll be like, well, yeah, well, that's great. That's good. And the problem is, you don't look past it. Once I say that, it's stuck in your head. Hey, that's who, he's Cedric Kennedy, and he's for all those things. I'm not looking past it. You don't look at any debates. You don't look at anything online on Twitter or anything. You don't research anything. You don't Google anything. You don't ecosia anything. I suggest ecosia.org. I really do. And I don't get paid for that. That's not a shill. That's literally use ecosia. They don't sell your information. They don't even really gather your information. And it's a better search engine than Google anyway. So really, why you're not giving it a try? It's free, it's simple, and it's easy. But the thing is, you heard of Google first. And when anyone talks, they say, Google it, Google it, Google it. And then when I come along and talk about ecosia, you're like, I don't know about that. I don't know. Just like if I'm running for president and I say all that stuff first, before any other candidate, it was stuck in your head. The only one that could actually outdo me is somebody that has name recognition. Now, you've already made up your choice what you want to do. You're going to vote for me. You heard of me first. And then you're like, well, who's that other dude? Oh, I know him. I'm like, oh, yeah, I heard about him or her. I know about those. Yeah. Then the media comes in. And whoever the media push, you vote for. I've always known that. I've always known that since I was like 19 and a half. I've known that. Maybe even earlier. Cenk Uygur didn't know that. Cenk motherfucking Uygur didn't know that. He's been doing the Young Turks for 15 and a quarter years. He's been analyzing politics like crazy, up and down. He has told, and he's made many predictions, and they came true. He knows how the game is played. He goes right into that congressional contest, and he fucking loses because he, just like everybody else, goes on bullshit, hope, and belief. He's like, I know my opponent is corrupt. I know my opponent is full of shit. I know my opponent is going to buy their way into this. But I have truth on my side. I know what I'm talking about. I know what it takes to win an election. The Democrats are losers. And he goes in not thinking the media is going to bury his ass. He goes in not knowing the cardinal goddamn rule of life. The first person to complain is always right, no matter how wrong they are. That is the cardinal rule. If someone calls the cops on your ass, you are guilty. If you're a guy and you go talk to a woman in private and she runs out that room hollering rape, you going to prison. Damn any footage. It don't matter if it's recorded. It don't matter if you got a witness. She hollered rape because she hollered first. That's it. Now, if you ran out that room and said, get the hell off me, woman, and she runs out behind you screaming rape, people are like, wait, what's going on? That's when they're in the I don't know club, which is the best club to be in. I don't know. Because if you can honestly say you don't know, then that means you might want to seek out to know. And that means you're going to look up stuff. Cenk Uygur did not go with one of the cardinal rules taught in one great movie, Training Day. Denzel's character, he says, it's not what you know, it's what you can prove. It don't matter what you know. What can you prove? Cenk Uygur could not. Here's what happened. He comes in and his opponent says he don't like women. He don't like minorities. He's a misogynist and he's probably raped somebody and he's going to say and do things that hurts everybody. And now Cenk has to disprove that. And the media goes along with that. The media prints her stuff first, so Cenk Uygur has, Cenk has to go second. So when people read articles, they're going to read what she's got to say first. By the time they're done reading hers and going through that, the media hoopla crap, their eyes are too tired, or their brain is like, I don't give a damn. They're not going to read Cenk's. And if they do, they're going to read the first thing, and the first thing probably going to say the progressive, which is already a nasty word in people's minds because now they associate progressive with socialist, progressive with communist, and nobody knows what either is. Only in the past month and a half, as of March 6, 2020, has people actually started learning that socialism truly means the people control the corporation, not that one owner. The people got stake and stock in it. It's not all about that owner. There's another socialism too. There's another one that's going to own a lot of people. I'll probably do that later. I might write that on Medium. I think I'll write that on Medium. Benjamin Dixon's the one I'm going to have to make another strong example out of. I'm going to have to. And I got this off Twitter. And you know what? I like Benjamin Dixon. But when you're fucking up, you're fucking up. That's just it. So, here goes. I'm going to put this, let's see. Let's see. Here we go. Right there, it's on screen now. For those that weren't looking, it's on screen. I'm going to read it anyway. So it's Benjamin Dixon. You can see his Twitter right there, you know, at Benjamin Dixon, at Benjamin P. Dixon. And he says, coronavirus is going to teach us two things. Number one, never again elect an administration that is anti-science and pro-chaos. Two, if we simply choose not to participate in their rat race, we bring this entire system to its knees. I'm going to have to be honest with you. I'm going to be straight up with you. Now, I know you'll never see this, Benjamin Dixon. I know you never will, but you're wrong. I'm going to tell you why you're wrong. Because you make the same mistake that everyone's been making for generations before you. You are being that arrogant. And before anyone can turn it off, I need to explain myself. There's a saying that me and my friend came up with. We were 17. I was 17. I think he was 15 and a half. And it stemmed from never underestimate the power of little people. Playing kickball, they kick the ball way the fuck on out. And you're like, ah, crap, we didn't know he was going to kick it that far. That's further than the others are kicking it. It stems from that. And it's never underestimate the power of stupid people. Never, ever underestimate the power of a fucking idiot. I'm going to tell you why. Let me explain. I'm going to take this apart. Never again elect an administration with an anti-science and pro-chaos. First of all, that is what the people are going to vote for. You know why? Because it's a religious nation. This country was not found on religion, but it is a religious nation. It's a Christian nation. You cannot get into office without being Christian. Now, there's one, maybe two atheists that are in offices, but they're not really important. And the other person was literally, factually that bad that they were able to win. They are literally the Obama of their districts. Bush was so bad, Obama won. That's how people was like, never again a Republican. But look what they did. They factually elected somebody that was 5 times dumber than Bush. Right now, people are voting for who? Biden. This country hates science. This country benefits from science. This country is being anti-vaxxers. Keep that in mind. The spread of measles, which can be airborne, people are spreading that because they believe. All right, you hear me? They believe that there's some kind of thing in vaccines that's giving people autism only because one person said it first. And since that one person said it first, everyone jumped on it. Then you got anti-vaxxers. And that's why. And then they spread that to where? The religion. And the religion says God heals all. So they trust wholeheartedly. Without these vaccines, God is going to cure them. And many children have died of the flu, measles. Some older people died of shingles. Come on. Things that were wiped out are now killing people again because of anti-science. And if you are religious, you are going to be anti-science to some degrees, if not every one of them. That's it, Benjamin. That's the first one. And then, and yeah, you know what? They're going to pro chaos. Oh, they love it. They love the chaos. You know why? Because if they can have chaos, they can have their tribalism. If they can have their tribalism, that means they can have their little patriot checking. It's like, yeah, you know, we don't like those libs, right? Yeah, right. Yeah. So that's a patriot check. That's a patriot check. When you sit and you say that line, you know, it's like, look, yeah, man, we're going to never Bernie. You know, that's how we feel, ain't it? Yeah. No Bernie. Fuck, man. It's like, yeah. It's a bully technique. You know this, Benjamin. You know this. You know how it roll. You been there. You in there now. People love chaos. They love stupidity. They're addicted to it. Without it, they can't breathe. You know, that shit that they make so they can't breathe. You know, and then if we simply choose not to participate in their rat race, we bring this entire system to its knees. No. If you say, I'm not voting for anybody, that's why they got those delegates and stuff. The super delegates, they don't need people. You don't need the people. They'll just do it themselves, and they'll get paid. They'll vote amongst themselves in Congress and whatnot who's going to lead. And that is when the government will absolutely run the government instead of the oligarchs. Because now they don't need the people. And without the people, they get to run amok. It's bad enough we done gave them the power that we should have had. You know, they can't live without us buying their shit. They can't. So the oligarchs are going to force these politicians to keep us going. And they're going to keep putting out the ads. They're going to keep doing that propaganda of don't throw away your vote. Oh, if you don't vote, you threw it away. If you don't vote, you're not patriot. They're going to patriot check all day long. It's what they do. You can't get away from it. While you can have the ideology, the idealism, and the hope that we can bring this system down, we can change it, we can make it better. The truth is, we can't, because there are way more idiots than forward-thinking people. 1/3 of this country is all Republican, another third is all Democrat, and another third is straight up, I don't give a damn no more. How many times can you get beat down before you just don't care to get up anymore? And some people been beat down so long, they never thought about getting up. They just think it's just the way it is. You got to reach the people not on your side. You've got to reach the people that are against you. You can go into any room and preach to the choir. Yeah, they're going to vote for you. But they're not the vote you need. You need the ones that are anti-you. And truth be told, for anyone listening, you want to burn the system to the ground. You talk about bringing it to his knees. You talk about we're going to just burn this shit up. You talk about revolting against it and stuff. But the truth is, you're too damn scared to do what you know by every means is right. You have your, I don't know if it's arrogance, I don't know if it's dismay, distrust, or if you've drank that much Kool-Aid of propaganda, but you don't want to start a third party, but you sure as shit aren't going to win in this party. You are not going to change the DNC. It's been tried. You got a few victories here, but that don't mean victories everywhere. That means victories in those little places. Cenk Uygur, living in California, Southern California, living in the district, was said that he doesn't live there. The propaganda, no one listened. 700+ million people in that district, and 800 people in that district, maybe not even all was in that district, listened to the debate that he was in where he annihilated his opponent. And 800 people plus their friends, so let's give it a grace of 1,600 people. Matter of fact, let's be gracious. 2,400 people probably voted for Cenk. Maybe even more. But you know what? It didn't matter, because everyone is stuck on stupid. Yeah, they know the girl is corrupt. They know she's gonna take money, but she's Democrat, and the word progressive is poisonous, wrongfully poisonous. You have to fight to change everyone's belief system in what they have about politics. That's what you got to do. You have to change the belief system. They don't care about facts. They care about two things: belief and feelings. Hope ain't shit. It's not. As much hope as I do have, I ain't gonna blind myself. I don't think you should. I don't think anyone else should. It's good to have hope, but you can't rest on the laurels of hope, because hope ain't shit. You need action. You need to talk, not to your crowd. You need to get your crowd to talk to the crowd that's against all of you. You have to talk to them. Bernie goes to the rallies, but that's not new votes. That's the old votes. That's the same votes. That's all that is. And those people go home and don't say shit to anybody. So people watch your show and they hear what you say. But you know what the problem is? They don't go past that. You know, your Twitter blew up, and that's awesome. And it took all that blowing up to get your name mentioned a couple of times on TYT, who has a far larger platform. And they are some of the biggest Kool-Aid drinkers I've ever seen. Because they believe their own hype. They're anti-Democrat, anti-Republican, but they won't leave. Literally, they stay within the abusive relationship, complain about the relationship, and when someone says, just get a new relationship, they say, it won't work. A new relationship can't work. There's no need to try. You won't get on the ballot. If you don't push for it, if you don't do it, it won't happen. And when you got the power backing that you do, Benjamin Dixon, that's if you ever see this, when they got the power and the backing that they do with the people and so many people, they can get it done. You can get it done. You talk about people getting active in the streets. I want you to sit down, think about it. Anyone listening to this, think about it. You can't beat the DNC inside of the DNC. They're not corrupt. The Democratic National Convention, they are not corrupt. Well, committee, they're not corrupt. That's business as usual. That's just what they are. That's who they are. They're going to push who they want to be the front runner. They're going to be anti anyone else. That's not establishment style. That's the truth, and it's never going to change, especially through hope. You have to change the belief system. You have to start another party, because you can't differentiate. You do me this. Find a way to differentiate progressives from Democrats. Try that. It's easy on paper, but you ask anybody, what's the difference between a progressive and a Democrat? Ask them. If anything, the first two things out their grill piece, what? And I don't know. Then they might go in and try something. And you can easily say, establishment, they're for the status quo. They're for the old ways, tradition. They're just basically Republican light. Progressives are forward thinking. Free college, Medicare for all, Green New Deal, New Deal, all of that stuff. Pro rights of everyone. You know, health is a right. You know, having a living wage should be a right. All this stuff should be a right. Yes, you can spell that out for progressives. Easy, all day, every day. And at the end, when you tell them that, you know what they're going to do? They're going to go back and say, I don't know what progressives are about, because you haven't changed the belief. That's the truth. That's why I say this country is built on stupid. It's built, sadly, on religion. It's just religious people leaving Europe to come here to get away from that oppression and start their own level of oppression. And that's what they did. And now you got to get the dogma out of them. Good luck. Because that's the true challenge. Are you all right stepping out of that wheelhouse and talking to the enemy and making sure and trying to get the enemy to change? That's the question. Can you do it? I'm going to take this off screen. Y'all ain't read about it now. I don't know what to do. Because honestly, I don't know what to do. I'm a dude I'm trapped in this damn house. I got out today. That was fun. Risky, but fun. Never know when I'm going to have a flare up. So I'm jacked up from the flow up. And that's why I tell everyone else who's able-bodied, that's why I use the term able-bodied, that can get out, get in them streets, and do what's right, do what needs to be done. I talk to you. I talk to you all. If anyone that sees this, hey, if I'm wrong somewhere, please let me know in the comment section. You know, sure enough, I'm going to read it. I know they say don't read the comment section, but you know what? I ain't got that many people anyway. So I'm going to read it. I'm not going to just post this and ignore it. Nope. So that's all I got to say. This has been Cedric Kennedy for Comparative Reasoning. Thank you for listening.